Welcome back. Today we're diving into the intense political storm against Justin Trudeau and his Liberal government. The spotlight is on the controversial 23% carbon tax hike, deemed by many as an economy-wrecking move. I'm QuikPolitics, and if you find this content engaging, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button, as your support truly helps the channel grow. Now, let's delve into the heart of the matter. The political climate is heating up as opposition against Trudeau intensifies. Critics from various political spectrums voice strong concerns about the carbon tax increase. Premier Dennis King from Prince Edward Island steps forward, warning of severe consequences for islanders and businesses. He urgently calls on Trudeau to reconsider, emphasizing the impact on rising gas and diesel costs.
You know, I think this is an issue where everybody kind of agrees to the end of what we need to do, and there's a big disagreement on how we get there and whether the carrot or the stick in this region is the best solution. I think, you know, where I get concerned is that under this current plan, we're at 80 cents per ton for carbon now, with the end goal being $170 per ton by early 2030 or 2032, I forget the exact. So that's going to continue to see considerable increases for these things. And I understand the premise of carbon pricing, and I support it essentially, but I also have been saying since I first started to run in politics is that when we don't have any other alternatives here, it becomes a punitive and unfair tax and cost on those people at the end, and those are islanders here, unfortunately. So I would like to think the Prime Minister will at least entertain the request and work like we have been doing in many other files to try to combat the high cost of living for islanders.
Premier Doug Ford of Ontario delivers a blunt warning, predicting voter backlash and potential defeat for Trudeau in the upcoming election. He highlights the timing issue, with inflation and living costs already soaring.
The carbon tax is the worst tax you could ever put on the backs of people, and I can't believe the federal government is actually going to hike the gas tax by 23%. Like, what don't you get? I've told them over and over again, the number one issue with people is affordability, affordable homes, affordable groceries, and affordable gas. And what drives up the inflation is energy cost. When you're gouging people at the pumps, they're already taking, what, 17.5 cents compared to where we reduced it by 10.7 cents. Guys, wake up, smell the coffee. Like, what don't you understand? Cancel this carbon tax, put it on hold, do whatever, and if you don't, the people of Canada are going to annihilate you when the election comes up. Simple as that.
Other premiers, like Scott Moe of Saskatchewan and Danielle Smith of Alberta, openly defy Trudeau's carbon tax, citing hardships faced by their constituents. Polls reveal a staggering 70% rejection of the carbon tax hike among Canadians. Traditional supporters express growing discontent with Trudeau's management. Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre criticizes the tax, connecting it to increased visits to food banks and surging food prices.
Costs more. Food prices have risen faster than at any time in 40 years. This is because of a carbon tax that has increased the cost for the farmers who produce the food, the truckers who ship the food, the grocers who sell the food. A carbon tax that is scheduled to quadruple over the next 5.5 years, and which will go up on April 1st.
Poilievre takes a stand, calling on NDP Premier David Eggen, Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh to cancel the April 1st carbon tax hike. He emphasizes the importance of responsible leadership during challenging times, urging leaders to consider the impact on struggling families.
Now, the NDP in this province has agreed to implement that tax, where in other provinces the local government has said no, and therefore Trudeau has imposed it from above. Here, the NDP has enthusiastically embraced the goal of raising energy prices on working-class families and has committed to go ahead with the hike this coming April 1st, a 23% carbon tax hike that will make life more expensive for everyday Canadians who are already unable to eat. This is happening in the context of 2 million annual visits, 2 million annual visits to food banks a massive 32% increase over 8 years ago.
The overall critique centers on Trudeau's perceived disconnect with everyday Canadians. Accusations of a tone-deaf approach and imposing unnecessary taxes during a crisis dominate the narrative. Calls for Trudeau's resignation echo, with demands for a more competent leader to step in. The political landscape is turbulent, and the battle over the carbon tax hike rages on. What are your thoughts on this issue? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us. If you appreciate content that delves into critical issues, consider subscribing for more insightful updates. Stay informed, and until next time, I'm QuikPolitics, signing off.